Hi everyone. Today we are going to have a discussion on the fundamentals of human resource management. Before entering in the subject of human resource management, first let us define what is management. According to Mary Parker Follett, management is the art of getting things done through others. Here, in this particular definition, the art of getting things done through others. Who are these others? Others are the people. Who are the people? People are the employees of the organization. Today we see that every organization they need some resources to start any business. The resources are four M's, that is money, men, material, and machinery. Suppose when we take these four resources, without the second one, men, the remaining three things will be a wasteful resource. That is, without men, the money, material, and machinery is not useful because all the things are operated by the men. The men are the human resource of the organization. Men is not only for the male, so that is the workforce of the organization. In this context, today we would like to discuss so what is the human resource management? Even when we discussed about this management, in the definition itself, the art of getting things done through others means management is otherwise called as human resource management. In some cases, we see that. Suppose when we talk about this human resource management is planning, organizing, directing, and controlling of procurement, development, management, and utilization of the human resources in the organization. Previously, we used to call them as workforce. After this workforce, so it was converted into manpower. So manpower is converted into today, that is not conversion. So that is what you can say transformation. So the transformation that has come like human resource, after that, now it has become human assets and human capital of the organization. Particularly in the advancement of this service sector, so the importance of human resource is increasing day by day. That's why now let us have the discussion regarding so what is this the definition of this human resource management. Human resource management is generally we used to call as HRM. It involves coordinating, managing, and allocating human capital or employees in ways that move an organization goals forward. HRM focuses on investing in employees, ensuring their safety, and managing all aspects of staffing from hiring to compensation and development. Now, when we talk about the general definitions which was given by eminent authors, according to Edwin B. Filippo, human resource management is defined as planning, organizing, directing, controlling of procurement, development, compensation, integration, maintenance, and separation of human resources to the end that individual, organizational, and societal objectives are achieved. In this particular definition, let us see here planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. We know that fundamentals of the fundamental functions of the management. So that is planning of what? The human resources. And even when you are going to plan the human resources, first let us have the planning of our activities. Suppose if you take an organization, when they are going for expansion or diversification programs, suppose if a person start an organization today and next year they are going to establish some branches. So in form of this expansion program, then they had to plan the human resources. This is the planning activity which is required. And organizing, which is particularly creating the objectives of the organization. After that, you have to direct all these people what they have to do. In this context, so the definition which emphasizes on the procurement, development, compensation, integration. So what is that procurement? Procurement means hiring the employees. Hiring in the sense we had to search for them, where the employees are available. So that is job seekers. Suppose let us talk about the campus recruitments or even any aspects of through this direct recruitment through newspapers or like this. So then we call them and even so that is procurement. Procurement involves so many activities like recruitment, selection process, and even induction process, etc., etc. After that, when we are talking about the development, after hiring the employee into the organization, so then what we have to do is, so we have to develop them. So the development happens through training and learning process. So the training programs and even the performance appraisal systems, all the things that will be involved in the development program. After this, compensation. So as we know that every person works for economic benefit. So without the financial benefits, nobody can work. So for that, then we require that compensation. So we had to provide the salaries, wages, and all that kind of fringe benefits so to the employees in that. And integration means, so you had to make all the people. Let us see now. Human resource management means, suppose if many people are working in the organization, so that is not simply an organization, that is a social system. When we take that particular social system, so in that particular social system, all people should be integrated, and even the coordination is required. And maintenance means, so employees, so we had to give them what kind of amenities they required, and minimum amenities at the same time. Suppose when they ask for some other things, suppose let us say staff quarters or these kinds of safety programs and even the employee welfare, so that will be. And last one, which is, suppose as we are human beings, we are not machines. So in that particular machines, so machines, they used to lay one at one place, but we have the thinking ability. So that's why some employees, they want, many people, they don't stay in the organization. So that is when they leave the organization, that becomes separation. So this is the basic thing where we discuss about this definition of the human resource management. Now when we come to this aspect of these features of HRM, what are the characteristics of the HRM, and what kind of characteristics that is resembles. First one, let us see. Human resource management is an art as well as a science. Suppose when we talk about the art in the sense, previously, once upon a time, there was no scientific management. Only we were following the thumb rules. How our ancestors and even the previous industries, how did they follow? So then simply they used to follow, and based on that particular history, that is the reason why it's become an art. So today that has become science. Science in the sense, scientifically we used to divide the work and even allocation of the work, and even after performing the task, then we used to mathematically calculate how the person did the work, and even what kind of compensation or the benefits we had to provide. This is regarding science as well as an art. Second one, human resource is pervasive. Suppose human resource is not only confined to a single place, so that is all pervasive at all levels of the organization. So this human resource management is there. So that is, suppose let us see, in the top level management, in the middle level management, and the lower level management, everywhere. So these kinds of human resource management is applicable, and in every industry also. Suppose that is not confined to only software industry, so that is for software industry particularly. So at the same time, banking sector or even any kind of service sector, production sector, every sector likewise. Next one, human resource is a process. What is that process? Process means, so we have that is as we discuss in the definition. So what is that? Planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. So the process is required. And even when we are talking about this particular human resource management, so we used to, what is that, hire the people and develop the people and give the compensation, management, and getting all the things. So even though we had to perform that appraisal of the performance of the employees, all the things that will be. Next one, HRM is interdisciplinary. Interdisciplinary means, so many things that will be involved. So that is art, science, commerce, okay, then mathematics, everything. Suppose now, in order to calculate the salaries and even any kind of incentives, we used to use mathematics. And suppose in the allocation of the work, so then we used to use our intelligence by applying the science. So as we know that F.W. Taylor has given the scientific management by replacing the rules of thumb. Okay, so these things that we had to see as part of this HRM is interdisciplinary. Next one, that is HRM is focused on results. So once we recruit an employee, and when the employee is employed in the organization, so then we used to see the results. How many people are working? What are the results we achieved in that? So likewise, let us see, we used to appraise the performance of the employees. After appraising the performance, then we used to compare with the standards. What kind of standards we established, and after that, what results we achieved in that. So those things also. Next one, when human resource management is people-centered. So this is, even though in the definition itself we told that. So that is regarding people centered. Without people, no organization can exist. So when people are there, so the people are coming from different backgrounds and even different walks of life. Some people may come from rural areas, some people may semi-urban areas, and even some people from the urban areas. So likewise, some people from sophisticated societies like that. So when all people come in that, then we had to manage them, because you had to maintain the equity in the organization, and even we had to make all the people to work with coordination. So this is regarding what we can say, this human resource management is people centered. And management is an integrated concept. Integrated concept means all the departments, they had to come and integrate. Let us see, every organization, so they have different departments. So that is finance department, and even marketing department, next one production department, all the things. So these human resource management that integrate all the people. So that is, even though this human resource manager, he is just like a middleman or the mediator between the management and the employees, and he had to coordinate all the activities. Suppose even though he had to pay the salaries on time. So this is the fundamental aspect, and even so the duty of that particular HR manager. If he is not in a position to provide that kind of salaries, so work will be paralyzed, and even so the effect of will be there on the work. So where he has to concentrate on this. And the last but not the least, HRM that develops team spirit. Let us see, suppose if you take any organization, in that the people, they used to work in teams. So when you are working in the teams, so then what we require is, so we require the team spirit. Just like you had to, because organization is not a single one, and even the people, they are not in a position to work in solo. So they have to come together and they discuss the issues, and even they have to develop some strategies and plans to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization. So these are all the general features of the HRM. And when we talk about this fundamental functions of HRM, so that is, what are the functions of HRM in the sense, the functions are classified into two basically. So the first one is managerial functions, and the second one is operative functions. What are these managerial functions? Managerial functions, as we discussed in the definition itself, planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. What are these planning? Planning involves how we are going to expand our business. Suppose what is the present state of our business and what we are going to expand the business. Suppose even when we start any new ventures or even new branches, so any kind of extensions, so that is the planning. And how many employees are exist now, and even how many employees are required, so that is planning. Organizing means, so that is creating certain kind of goals and objectives to the employees. Suppose even the goals will be there, the goals are different from one organization to the another organization. At the same time, the employees, for that, now the strategic goals will be there, and at the same time for the middle level management, a certain kind of implementation of that particular objectives, and even for the personal objectives till from the lower level management itself. And the last one, which is controlling, because controlling in the sense, we had to set some standards, and even based on that particular standards, then how the person is doing, and even what kind of standards are there. Suppose any deviations are there, we must be in a position to identify, and we had to correct from time to time, so which is called controlling aspect. So these are all the general conditions that will be taken into consideration. Okay, so this is regarding the general fundamentals of the human resource management for today. Thank you very much. And